Welcome to MINDSHOCK. This is your host, Bruce McGuire.
And JR?
And today we are tackling one of the most confounding and paradoxical personalities in the history of the world. The one and only Kanye West. And we will be going into latest developments with his, I don't know what we would call it, lifestyle choices and choice words resulting from those lifestyle choices. I mean, there's so much to discuss here regarding Kanye West, political aspirations, political statements, musical career, which I know JR has followed very closely.
Absolutely, Bruce.
As always, if you find the MINDSHOCK podcast interesting and informative, you can donate to our PayPal. I'll just check the link in the description. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications. You can also become a YouTube member right here on YouTube for access to exclusive streams and chats. Like and share the podcast, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Patreon. Patrons do get priority for case topic, logical analysis, co-podcast, or requests. You could also be a guest in the podcast depending on your tier. Questions, comments, theories, thoughts, suggestions, rebuttals, debunkings of any kind, leave them in the comment section. So, if Kanye ran for president, would you vote for him, JR?
No, I wouldn't. Honestly, it's pretty fascinating, Bruce, that the leader of the free world, and I say free relatively because we're on MINDSHOCK, but the president of the United States, I don't care if you're, blue, black, red, white, believe in socialism, believe in communism, when the president of the United States, and keep in mind, Bruce, that he was stupid enough to be president, calls you an ass on national television, that doesn't just speak volumes, Bruce. That speaks fathoms.
So what's your take on the personality that is Kanye West, or Ye, as he likes to be called, or Yeezus, or Yeezy?
Well, I honestly don't know, Bruce. I mean, I'm starting to wonder. I mean, this is MINDSHOCK after all. If he's not like a fucking Jedi, he's the droid we're looking for. You know what I mean? Who knows? I don't really understand, how he's even, relevant. Do you?
Well, honestly, he's not one of the individuals in the music industry that I've followed closely, but there's many conspiracy theories abound revolving around Kanye, Illuminati connections, his highly esteemed spouse, Kim Kardashian.
Well, let's start with his name, Bruce. How come it sounds like a crummy, shitty, tween store, across the food court in the mall?
I don't know. So is that his legal name, Kanye Omari West?
Maybe the parents worked at, Forever 21 next door.
Well, he was born in 1977 in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. What does that mean? Is that, give some sort of credibility to him of some kind?
I don't think. Was Forever 21, when was that store founded?
Who knows, Bruce? Okay, so fine.
It was founded in 1984, actually. I didn't know that. That's older than I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Well, honestly, Bruce, it didn't have to be Forever 21. I'm sure that there was, a kiosk that's been around longer than Forever 21. But nevertheless, I don't really think that, he has any relevance in the music industry. In fact, I'm guessing that the music industry, he kind of jumped in the music industry, and the music industry jumped back. I mean, what? He's not necessarily releasing, new albums, is he, Bruce?
He did release, what did he release?
The last time I heard of him, I think he was divorcing from the one that he married, the one that had, the world's first ass transfer.
He actually just came out with Donda in 2021, his 10th album, and then also Donda 2 just came out in 2022.
He just names an album Donda 2?
Well,
and what's Donda stand for? I guess he's trying to be sophisticated now.
Well, let's break this down. So this is straight from the wiki here. Ye or born Kanye Omari West, is an American rapper, singer, songwriter, record producer, and fashion designer. Do you mean to tell me, JR, that you don't wear any Kanye?
Well, that's why I brought up that he sounds like a really crummy name, like of a store in the mall. I mean, like, it's kind of like, Bruce, there was this one Christmas that I was walking through Macy's, and I saw that they were selling Hummer the Fragrance. He strikes me as the type of individual that would buy that and think it was high-end. So, I mean, like, where is his clothes released? Kmart? Oh, wait, no, Kmart's out of business. Yeah, we discussed that in our Dahmer podcast.
He collaborates with Nike, Louis Vuitton, The Gap, and APC, and also has a collaboration with Adidas.
Wow, those are all, like, relatively reputable brands.
Yeah, so he is one of the most critically acclaimed artists of the 21st century and regarded as one of the most influential hip hop artists of all time.
Yeah, says who?
Says Wikipedia.
Oh, well, there we go.
Well, to be fair, though, who hasn't heard of Kanye West?
Okay, but like, let's just play devil's advocate for a second there, Bruce. Okay, who hasn't heard of Charlie Manson?
I would actually argue Kanye today is more recognizable of a name than Manson.
Today?
Yeah.
But like, I mean, like, where's Kanye gonna be like 60 years from now?
Well, that's a good question. Nobody can answer that. You'll have to check in. You'll have to tune in to our time travel MINDSHOCK podcast series if you want the answer to that one. Born in Atlanta and raised in Chicago, Illinois, West initially gained recognition as a producer for Rockefeller Records, ROC-A-FELLA. Now, some people believe that is a wink to the Illuminati. The Rockefeller Rothschild families, of course, known for Illuminati influence. Do you have any comment on that from your government background, JR?
No, Bruce, I wouldn't, like, even if I did, I wouldn't waste, like, the few tokens I'm willing to give MINDSHOCK on Kanye.
Oh, they're going to find that insulting.
What?
That you're not willing to spill the beans on Illuminati connections regarding Kanye West.
Bruce, to be quite blunt, like, I think Kanye's too stupid for the Illuminati. I mean, like, even, like, the Illuminati has, like, standards when it comes to, like, like, the people that they, like, turn into puppets.
Well, I don't know about that. So some believe, through Operation Mockingbird and whatever, don't they go after just everybody in Hollywood? Like, IQs. Technically, wouldn't they not want smart people because then the smart people would figure out what's going on?
I mean, maybe, but, like, I mean, like, let's just put it this way. Like, the agent that nabbed Kanye, if that's the way that, like, they work, they were pretty desperate to impress the boss man, like, on their way.
Well, on the other hand, do you believe Kanye could have risen to billionaire status without help and assistance from the Illuminati? Do you think he's talented and intelligent enough to have built this empire without Illuminati support?
Well, Bruce, before he founded that Rockefeller thing, didn't he get fired from Burger King?
I actually don't know. Did he?
I'm pretty sure. I mean,
Okay, so this was in the early 2000s, and then he produced singles for several artists and developed the chipmunk soul sampling style. Intent on pursuing a solo career as a rapper, he released his debut studio album, The College Dropout, in 2004.
Well, there you go. That's got success written all over it, Bruce.
To critical and commercial success. He founded the record label Good Music later that year. That's a capital G, capital O, capital D. That's a solid name for a record label.
Everything about Kanye is solid, Bruce.
West explored diverse musical elements like orchestras, synthesizers, and auto-tune on albums Late Registration 2005, Graduation 2007, I'm sensing a theme here, and 808s and Heartbreak 2008, theme is broken, drawing inspiration from maximalism and minimalism, respectively. His fifth and sixth albums, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy 2010 and Yeezus 2013, also received critical and commercial success. Now, JR, do you think it's blasphemous to use a name like Yeezus?
I don't know. You'd have to defer to the Catholic Church on that one, Bruce.
West further diversified his musical styles on the
Wait a minute, wait. He diversified?
West.
Does any of that sound diversified to you at all, Bruce?
Well, let me finish the sentence. West further diversified his musical styles on The Life of Pablo, 2016, and Yay, 2018, and explored Christian and gospel music on Jesus is King, 2019. So this rapper is just moving to gospel. After multiple delays, his highly anticipated 10th album, Donda 2021, was released to continued commercial success, but to mixed critical reception. He released its sequel, Donda 2 2022, a few months later, exclusively through his tie-in audio speaker service. So this is, wow, that's really interesting.
So after it, you choose whether or not you want it to, respond to your Wi-Fi in English or Spanish, then it starts playing Donda 2?
West's discography also included the full-length collaborative albums Watch the Throne 2011 with Jay-Z and Kids See Ghost 2018 with Kid Cudi. One of the world's best-selling music artists with over 160 million records sold, West has won 24 Grammys and 75 nominations, the joint 10th most of all time, and joint most Grammy awards of any rapper, along with Jay-Z. Among his other awards are the Billboard Artist Achievement Award, a joint 3 Brit Awards for Best International Male Solo Artist, and the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award. 6 of West's albums were included on Rolling Stone's 2020 500 Greatest Albums of All Time, with the same publication naming him one of the 100 Greatest Songwriters of All Time. He holds the joint record with Bob Dylan for most albums for topping the annual Paz and Jop critic poll and has the 5th most appearances on the Billboard Hot 100, which was 133 times. Times Magazine named him one of the 100 most influential people in the world in 2005 and 2015. See, that's a little bit impressive there, because how many most influential people in 2005 still made the list by 2015?
How much? I mean, it's also impressive. How much money did it cost to buy all of this acclaim?
Forbes estimates his net worth at $2 billion as of 2022, making him one of the wealthiest musicians in the world. West's outspoken views and life outside of music have received significant media coverage. He has been a frequent source of controversy for his conduct on social media and at awards shows in public settings, as well as his comments on the music and fashion industries, U.S. politics, race, and slavery. His Christian faith, high-profile marriage to Kim Kardashian, and mental health have also been sources of media attention. As a fashion designer, he has collaborated with Nike, Louis Vuitton, The Gap, and APC on clothing and footwear, and leads the Yeezy collaboration with Adidas. He's also
but if he's worth billions of dollars, that makes sense now. They're not really taking a risk on producing merchandise with his name on it.
Actually, a whole bunch of companies are severing ties after his latest comments. But let me continue here. He is the
Do you blame them?
He's also the founder and head of the creative content company Donda, and due to become the owner of the social media platform Parler. In 2020, he launched an unsuccessful independent presidential campaign that primarily advocated for a consistent life ethic. Is it shocking to you that Kanye didn't beat Biden?
That's up for debate, Bruce. I honestly don't know. I mean, to be quite honest, I would have liked to have seen more, live coverage of him talking. Let's just put it that way. I think the media kind of focused on Biden more than they should. I think they should have given Kanye, the microphones more.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that, I mean, it would have made, VH1 president, election time, like, more interesting. And if he's got, like, billions of dollars, how come he didn't just start his own, like, television station that broadcasts himself, like, all the time? I'm kind of disappointed.
Well, let's get controversial, shall we, JR?
He's such an This better be good.
So, relationships and family, Kim Kardashian. April 2012, West began...
That's the one that had the world's first ass transfer, right?
I have no idea. That's not something I keep up with like you do, JR. In April 2012, West began dating reality television star Kim Kardashian, with whom he had already been longtime friends. West and Kardashian became engaged in October 2013 and married at Fort de Belvedere in Florence on May 24th, 2014. I'm sure you already know all these dates. Their private ceremony was subject to widespread mainstream coverage, with which West took issue. They have 4 children: North, West. They named their kid Northwest. Wow, I didn't know that. Saint West, Chicago West, and Psalm West. In April 2015, West and Kardashian...
How about why didn't they name it Old West?
Wow, can you imagine naming your kid Old? I mean, I guess if you put an E on it, it might work. In April 2015, West and Kardashian, who is of Armenian descent, traveled to Jerusalem to have North baptized in the Armenian Apostolic Church at the Cathedral of St. James. I mean, is it weird naming your kid a saint? Is that blasphemous?
I mean, see, that's subjective, because there are plenty of people that have names that are saints. I mean, there are people that are named after angels too. So I don't necessarily think
Yeah, but
that's 100%
that's a little different. Like, because saint isn't a particular person. You're saying they are a saint. Some would. I mean, that's like a step down from naming someone demigod.
Yeah, you raise a good point there. You raise a good point there, Bruce.
So
yeah, I mean, like,
their other children were all baptized at Echmiadzin Cathedral, the mother church of the Armenian Church, on October 7th, 2019. The couple's high-profile status and respective careers have resulted in their relationship becoming subject to heavy media coverage. The New York Times referred to their marriage as a historic blizzard of celebrity. What a credible publication. In September 2018, West announced that he would be permanently moving back to Chicago to establish his Yeezy company headquarters there. This did not actually occur, and West went on to purchase 2 ranches near Cody, Wyoming, where he recorded his 8th solo studio album, Yay. Kardashian resides with their children in a home that the now divorced couple owns in California, whereas West moved into a home across the street to continue to be near their children. In fall 2021, West began the process of selling his Wyoming ranch. In July 2020, during a presidential campaign rally of his, West revealed that he had previously considered abortion during Kardashian's first pregnancy, but had since taken an anti-abortion view. He made the comment and acknowledged the possibility of Kardashian ending their marriage because of it. Later that month, West wrote on Twitter that he had been attempting to divorce Kardashian. He also wrote that the Kardashian family were attempting to lock him up. You gotta love Twitter and its place in modern society, don't you? I mean, these are where the announcements are being made.
The other thing that's really, like, funny as hell, Bruce, is that it's the Kardashians who are nuts that are trying to have him locked up for being nuts. I mean, you gotta love this. I mean, this is what people should be wasting their time on.
Waste? I mean, I can't think of a more productive podcast, can you?
Absolutely. And in fact, like, supporting these people by, like, watching, like, all this shit that they do on TV, I mean, that's productive too. I mean, that's not feeding the machine.
In January 2021, CNN reported that the couple were discussing divorce. Now, you gotta love how credible CNN is. They don't just report divorces; they report discussion about a divorce. They're discussing, like, this is news in America.
But do you think that, like, their marriage is actually, like, an Illuminati goal, like, to, like, destroy brain cells? Like, maybe, and, like, turn everyone into...
I don't know, but can you imagine what people in other countries think when they see this news? Like, CNN's reporting that they're discussing divorce. A month later, Kardashian officially filed for divorce. In April, both West and Kardashian cited irreconcilable differences as the cause of divorce and agreed to joint custody of their 4 children. They also agreed that they do not need spousal support from each other. On several occasions in 2021, West expressed that he would rather stay with Kardashian than get divorced. Kardashian was declared legally single on March 2nd, 2022. Other relationships. West began an on and off again relationship with designer Alexis Pfeiffer in 2002, and they became engaged in 2006. The pair ended their 18-month engagement in 2008. West subsequently dated model Amber Rose from 2008 until summer 2010. You probably already know all this, JR. In January 2022, actress Julia Fox confirmed in an interview essay that she was dating West. Despite the relationship, he continued expressing that he wanted his family back and publicly lashed out at Kardashian's new boyfriend, comedian Pete Davidson. His treatment of Davidson and Kardashian has been described by commentators as harassment and an example of abusive relationships. With the 64th annual Grammy Awards dropping him as a performer in response to his concerning online behavior, less than 2 months after confirming their relationship, Fox revealed that she and West had split up but remained on good terms. She later claimed that she had dated West purely to give people something to talk about during the COVID-19 pandemic. So, JR, let me get this straight. How often are people going to admit they only dated someone high profile because things were boring during the COVID-19 pandemic?
I don't know, Bruce. I don't know. You think Kanye had, like, toilet paper during that shortage?
I don't know. But the other thing that's kind of curious, in this cancel culture world where everybody gets triggered about everything, isn't it kind of weird how you know full well that all these so-called celebrities, music artists, actors, whatever, you know that in private over the past, let's say, 80 years before Twitter, people have said far worse, and they still did their performances.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah.
But now,
But, I mean,
just because of social media and the illusion, the virtue signaling that everybody wants to do, all of a sudden they're getting canceled and pulled. Now, I'm not saying all celebrities. I'm sure, I don't know, maybe there were some good ones. But in general, you know full well the kinds of things people say.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so legal issues. In December 2006, Robert Evil Knievel sued the rapper. Are you familiar? Wow, this is actually in 2006? So, wait, this is the Evil Knievel.
He probably name-dropped him in one of his songs.
He sued the rapper for trademark infringement in West's video for Touch the Sky. Knievel took issue with a sexually charged video in which West takes on the persona of Evil Knievel and attempts flying a rocket over a canyon. You know what's curious, though? This was December 06, and Evil Knievel died November 30th, 2007. So he didn't even make it a year since the lawsuit.
Maybe it was some sort of Illuminati cover.
See, satire protects against all this, so, like, how could this even be a lawsuit? But anyway, the suit claimed infringement on Knievel's trademark name and likeness. Knievel also claimed that the vulgar and offensive images depicted in the video damaged his rep. The suit sought monetary damages and an injunction to stop distribution of the video. West's attorneys argued that the music video amounted to satire and therefore was covered under the First Amendment. Just days before his death in November 2007, Knievel amicably settled the suit after being paid a visit from West, saying, I thought he was a wonderful guy and quite a gentleman. Now, does that ooze of some kind of Illuminati dealings or no? He's dead days later. So Kanye pays him a visit, and then all of a sudden he's dead days later.
Well, and like, he made like this like statement that Kanye was like this like really nice gentleman guy, like, too.
See, like if that, I don't know on what terms was that statement made. Was that statement made in person or was it Knievel on the phone?
Kanye might actually be a nice guy. I mean, if like you could just float around on billions of dollars and have bamboozled this.
Hold on a second though. When someone makes a statement, I thought he was a wonderful guy and quite a gentleman. If that's made over the phone, does that give you the impression someone's holding a gun to their head?
Well, that's a good point.
In 2014, after an altercation with a paparazzo at the Los Angeles airport, West was sentenced to serve 2 years probation for a misdemeanor battery conviction and was required to attend 24 anger management sessions, perform 250 hours of community service, and pay restitution to the photographer. I mean, at this point in history, how many of these people that have been around for decades haven't had an altercation with a paparazzo? On June 29, 2022, a complaint was filed in U.S. District Court in New York claiming copyright infringement due to unauthorized use of a sample on the song Flowers. The complaint claims that West sampled Marshall Jefferson's 1986 house track Move Your Body without gaining permission or providing compensation. Do you think that's one of Richard Simmons' favorites?
Well, Bruce, honestly, Richard Simmons sweats the oldies, so that may or may not be one of, Richard's favorites. But he might still be on there, who knows?
In July 2022, West was sued for $416,000 by the fashion rental company the David Cassavant Archive. The lawsuit claimed that West had failed to make payments on and return 13 rented pieces. Because this is the real news, JR. This is the real news.
Absolutely, bro.
Religious belief. After the success of his song Jesus Walks from the album The College Dropout, West was questioned on his beliefs and said, quote, I will say that I'm spiritual. I have accepted Jesus as my savior, and I will say that I fall short every single day. End quote. He seems proud of that. In a 2000... that's an interesting statement to have those sentences back to back. In a 2008 Oh man. In a 2008 interview with The Fader, West stated that, quote, I'm like a vessel and God has chosen me to be the voice and the connector, end quote. Is that why he calls himself Jesus?
I don't know. Do you think that was really him talking or the blow, Bruce? What do you think?
I don't know. In a 2009 interview with the online magazine Bossip, West stated that he believed in God, but at the time felt that he, quote, would never go into a religion, end quote. In 2014, West referred to himself as a Christian during one of his concerts. In October 2019, West said with respect to his past, quote, when I was trying to serve multiple gods, it drove me crazy. In reference to the god of ego, god of money, god of pride, the god of fame. And that, quote, I didn't even know what it meant to be saved, and that now I love Jesus Christ, I love Christianity.
Well, now that he's gotten ego, money, pride, now that he's covered all those bases, now he believes in Christ.
In 2019, Jimmy Kimmel asked West. Wow. If we had to do a podcast on top 10 goofs, do you think Jimmy Kimmel would make that list? He's up there.
It harkens back to Kanye. It just figures that, him and Kimball, anyway, go ahead.
Jimmy Kimmel asked West if he would consider himself to be a Christian music artist now that he has committed himself fully to Christianity, and he replied, quote, I'm just a Christian everything, end quote. I don't know what that means, but Kim Kardashian described West's Christian born-again experience in 2019, quote, Kanye started this to really heal himself, and it was a really personal thing, and it was just friends and family. He has had an amazing evolution of being born again and being saved by Christ, end quote. So is that why she divorced himself as soon as he heals himself?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, they're like that family is like completely like. I mean, we need to do a separate podcast on them, Bruce, because like the only reason why they're famous is because like their father defended OJ. Like, like their entire empire is built on blood money.
That only lasted a few years before Kim Kardashian had that sex tape come out. That catapulted.
Yeah, and then she had the and then after that, that's when like they had the ass transfer. Like she had the ass transfer. Yeah, like.
Okay. Have you had that done yet or no?
Can't say that I have, Bruce. Can't say that I have.
You can't say, so you have. You just can't talk about
it. I'm not at liberty to discuss it.
Okay, actually, you know what? That brings me to my next question, Jared. How common are these butt implants among government employees?
It's actually not that common, but I mean, like, it could also be a conspiracy. Like, if you've seen some, like, government, like, offices, like, there's, like, those, like, ass couches. They're not even chairs. They're, like, just ass couches. Like, so, I mean, maybe it's possible. I mean, maybe, like, it's really a thing. I don't know. I mean, what I don't understand is, like, why do you need, like, an ass transfer? Like, what does it accomplish?
You're asking the wrong guy, JR. You're asking the wrong guy. Why don't we have Kim K on the podcast next time, and maybe she'll enlighten us. So,
yeah, I mean, like, really.
I'll send her an invite. I mean, why wouldn't she be on the MINDSHOCK podcast, right? I mean, what is there a better podcast out there? I mean, have you heard of one?
Yeah, I mean, like, of course. I mean, I'm sure she's just, like, all over that. Like, she'll be all over our podcast. She's probably a subscriber, Bruce. Hi, Kim.
Abortion. In an October 2022 Fox News interview with Tucker Carlson, West defended the pro-life stance, stating that he cared about the fact that, quote, there are more black babies being aborted than born in New York City at this point, and that 50% of black death in America is abortion. I mean, those are some staggering statistics, Jay.
Where did he get those statistics from? Space?
I don't know. They might be accurate.
But, like, they might be is different than they are.
Yeah, you want me to fact check this? I'll fact check this. You actually...
Do you think...
Are you actually insinuating that Kanye could have been wrong about something?
Yeah, I am. Do you think that his brain is, like, was grown organically, or do you think, like, the government just used osmosis to put it together?
You know what's weird? So... Alright, I gotta bring up some...
Is it a half-truth?
Hold on a second, I gotta bring up more, because of course they only have... Okay, so I'm on usafacts.org, and... Okay, so in 2021, roughly 41.8 million black people in the United States, 197.39 white people. And white people get 39% of abortions, and black people get 28% of abortions. Even though they're, I mean, this is, I mean...
Yeah, so, like, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I think Mr. West, his figures might be a little slanted there. I mean, I don't think that, I mean, I don't want to, like, start giving, like, political views here, but, like, to be honest, like, the fact that he does just makes him a bigger ass, in my opinion. Like, it's not like he's the common African-American, he's a billionaire, and, like, I mean, except for being fired from Burger King, has never held down, like, a real job, so, I mean, he's not really one to be put in that type of situation. It wasn't like I mean, even if he grew up impoverished, he's lived most of his life where he's not been impoverished.
His stats are actually correct. So actually, in 2015, 30% of all pregnancies in New York City ended in abortion. This is directly from the CDC. So 35% of all pregnancies across all races. And more African American babies are aborted than babies born in New York City.
Okay.
He's got his stats on point. I can't believe you would doubt the yay. Like, what is wrong with you, man?
Yeah. Anyway.
Mental health. In his song FML and his featured verse on Vic Mensa's song You Mad, he refers to using the antidepressant medication Lexapro. And in his song I Feel Like That, I mean, these are some high-end titles. Which
Does he take it, or does he like? I mean, like, does he smoke it? Like, what's like? How does he take his medicine?
which has not been officially released, he mentioned feeling many common symptoms of depression and anxiety. These songs had all been recorded during West's recording sessions for The Life of Pablo. On November 19th, 2016, before abruptly ending a concert prematurely, he said, Jay-Z, call me bruh, you still ain't called me. Jay-Z, I know you got killers, please don't send them at my head, just call me, talk to me like a man. The following day, he was committed to UCLA Medical Center with hallucinations and paranoia. See, I have to. I might not agree with Stephen King on a lot of things, but was he the one who said perfect paranoia is perfect awareness?
Yeah, I believe he was.
What do you make of that, Jr.? What do you make of that?
Well, I think that, like, like, to be honest with you, Bruce, like, perfect paranoia is perfect awareness, blah blah blah. But like, like high grade celebrity based pharmaceuticals, nutraceuticals, and drugs in general also produce the paranoia.
But
So, I
hold on a
mean,
second. Let's not fall for these false dichotomies, Jr. When you're a billionaire, there might be people out to get you. I'm just going to go out on a limb here. If you're a billionaire and you possibly might have enemies in the rap world, I'm just going out on a limb. There might be some people out there that might be after you. Again, this is just going out on a limb.
you don't think Kanye West has like people that like walk around and guard him with point and click interfaces, Bruce?
Oh, of course. That doesn't mean that people aren't out to get him, though.
Well, I mean, like, okay. I mean, I could understand that. Like, he feels like he's got a target painted on the back of his head. Well, I mean, then maybe he should go, like, like, buy a Burger King and, like, be manager. Then he won't have to worry about,
He might actually have to. He might actually have to worry more. Have you seen those videos of fights breaking out at Burger King? I mean, it's kind of becoming endemic to Burger King. Like, there's just so many like random people attacking.
All right. Maybe, like, an Arby's.
Well, don't they get? What are the statistics and how many people get? How often are there stick-ups at Arby's versus Burger King?
I don't know, but, like, now that, like, I'm really starting to think about it, Kanye strikes me as more of an Outback Steakhouse kind of guy. Like, I mean...
I'm thinking more Fat Burger.
Ooh, Fat Burger, yeah.
They don't make the news often.
Yeah, no, they don't.
You don't hear about shootings and beatdowns happening at Fat Burger, or maybe they just have better PR divisions and they can keep it under wraps better. But who knows? Uh, so again, but even in the case if you're not a billionaire, like how would a doctor be able to determine you're paranoid? Like how would they know if people are out to get you? Particularly if there are agents of the Illuminati with vast resources that can blend in and pay off local law enforcement. How would these doctors ever know whether it was truly paranoia or simply awareness?
That's a good question, Bruce. I don't necessarily know. I mean, like, I think they probably, at his, like, income level, he doesn't have to, like, worry about paying with insurance or anything. So, like, I think he just, like, buys, like, the happy medication to make the, the spirits or whatever go away. And, he probably takes it and then he goes out on stage and, like, says stuff at the Emmys.
All right. So, contrary to earlier reports, however, West was not actually taken to the hospital involuntarily. He was persuaded to do so by authorities. And what persuasive methods were used, do you think?
Well, I like how it was still, like, the authorities. So, I mean, like, it's kind of like the easy way or the hard way.
While the episode was first described as one of, quote, temporary psychosis caused by dehydration and sleep deprivation, West's mental state was abnormal enough for his 21 canceled concerts to be covered by his insurance policy. Are you surprised it was 21 and not 33 canceled concerts?
I'm actually surprised that he was smart enough to have insurance.
He was reportedly paranoid and depressed throughout the hospitalization, but remained formally undiagnosed. Some have speculated that the Paris robbery of his wife may have triggered the paranoia. On November 30th, West was released from the hospital. In a 2018 interview, West declared that he became addicted to opioids when they were prescribed to him after he got liposuction. The addiction may have contributed to his nervous breakdown in 2016. West said that he often has suicidal ideation. In a 2019 interview with David Letterman, West stated that he has bipolar disorder. Name change. August 24th, 2021, West applied to have his legal name changed from Kanye Omari West to Ye, Y-E, with no middle or last name. He cited personal reasons for the change. The request was granted October 18th. West had alluded to change his name since 2018 and has used Ye as a nickname for several years prior. In the June 2018 interview, he explained, I believe Ye, is it Ye or Ye?
Does it really fucking matter, Bruce?
Is the most commonly used word in the Bible. In the Bible, it means you. So I'm you, I'm us, it's us. It went from being Kanye, which means the only one, to just Ye.
Wouldn't God or Lord be like the most commonly used, like, you know, word in the Bible?
Are you saying Kanye should have changed his name to Lord or God?
Would that surprise you if he did?
I don't know. I thought he'd probably change it to something like Jesus.
Or Jehovah?
Okay, so what do you make of his latest comment?
Did you already read it?
Oh, you don't know what his latest comments were?
No, I mean, like, there's just so much garbage. Like, you know, it depends, Bruce.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Well, actually, let me just preempt it. He's an asshole.
All right, so this is Yahoo Entertainment, highly credible. Kanye West dropped by Balenciaga, first major company to sever ties after anti-Semitic comment. By Kevin Ryder, October.
Wait, I thought he believed in God.
October 21st, 2022. Fallout over Kanye West's controversial and anti-Semitic comments continue. Wow. And the one and only Howard Stern, intellectual. I mean, I can't think of a bigger intellectual extraordinaire than Howard Stern. And this is what Howard Stern said about Kanye West and his anti-Semitic comment. Quote, he's like Hitler, end quote. When you think Kanye, the first person that comes up is definitely Hitler. Oh, man. Oh, man. He basically...
Well, you know, like, Stern is also kind of one to talk. I mean, he's an asshole, too. Like, he's a different blend, but he's still an asshole.
Stern said Kanye used to be fun crazy, now he's like Hitler.
I just think he's an asshole, bro. But that's just me. I mean, you know, like, maybe the MINDSHOCK audience feels differently.
So basically, I'm trying to find the exact comments here.
We should give away a free Kanye fanny pack.
Apparently, he said something about the Jewish media mafia and DEFCON 3 on Jewish people.
What the fuck? DEFCON 3? I mean, what?
I also find it interesting that they're not giving the exact quotes here. Why do you think that is? Is this like Alex Jones, like where they can't actually come up with any quotes of him actually denying the Sandy Hook, that people were died or something?
I mean, it's possible, but more likely than not, it's just like there's either conjecture or like they're actually turning it into like real English by converting it.
All right, so apparently in Twitter he said, I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. The funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jew also. You guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone who ever opposes your agenda.
In the words of Tim Taylor from Home Improvement, huh?
So apparently he was suspended for this, and Instagram also suspended after he shared a screenshot of a conversation with rapper Sean Diddy Combs that was captioned, "Jesus is Jew." In one of the messages, West suggested that Combs was controlled by Jews, a centuries-old blood libel. I'ma use you, I'ma use you as an example to show the Jewish people that told you to call me that no one can threaten or influence me, West, who now goes by Ye, wrote. Since then, the reaction to the rant has gone viral and has become a topic of discussion worldwide. Okay. I mean, I don't think there's enough. I mean, what do you make of those comments?
I think Ye is a nut, Bruce.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of. It's like the nonsensical nature of all of this. Like, it's weird. But you know what's funny though? All of the people that criticize Kanye, no one bats an eye when people want to go like DEFCON 3 on like Trump supporters or any of this, or like, the Freedom Convoy. Like, that's all accepted. But for whatever reason, like, there's certain groups of people where people get all triggered by words on the internet. Like, because what is that?
Well, that is very true, Bruce. I will say, like, I mean, and you raise a very good point there, that, like, it does seem to be some and not others. I mean, I don't know, like, maybe because, like, parents look at, Kanye or Ye as a moral compass for their children.
Well, that's also kind of like a weird statement. Like, what if Kanye just said, "I'm going to go DEFCON 3 on humans"? Like, what does that mean? I'm going to go DEFCON 3 on people with brown eyes. Like, what is...
Well, if he was standing in North Korea, I think it'd mean a whole bunch of things. But, like, yeah.
All right, so here's an interesting article. We got to go to Forbes here for this. Kanye West's anti-Semitic controversial behavior. Here's everything he said in recent weeks, because this is real news here. Marissa Delato, Forbes staff. October 21st, 2022. Beginning in early October, Kanye, also known as Ye, went on a spree of public appearances and interviews in which he spouted anti-Semitic comments and conspiracy theories, criticized Black Lives Matter, ended business relationships, and was blocked on social media platforms, leading to widespread criticism and disavowal by industry peers. Here's everything he said and what he does and doesn't regret, because this is what's really important, JR. Timeline, October 3rd. This is like a whole true crime case. October 3rd. West, Candace Owens, and at least one model wears shirts with "White Lives Matter" written on them at West's Yeezy fashion show in Paris. So at this point, is he just trolling all the goofs that get triggered at the drop of a hat? And you know what's really funny? All these goofs that get triggered at like anything, like they fall right into their trap. Because if West is just trolling with all of this, and he finds it hilarious when people get all triggered over just words. I mean, if he just wants entertainment from all these clueless goofs who get triggered by everything, except for like actual real issues, like, all the countless humans getting bombed in Yemen, like nobody cares about that. But, words on a t-shirt, there's all this outrage over it, or words on social media. It's kind of weird. Like, don't you think it's kind of weird?
Yeah, it is. But, like, I'm going to respect Kanye's preferences, because that's also very important nowadays. And I'm just going to refer to him as Ye for the remainder of the podcast.
The Southern Poverty Law Center says the term is associated with a neo-Nazi group with that same name that was founded as a racist response to the civil rights movement Black Lives Matter, and describes itself as dedicated to promotion of white race and taking positive action as a united voice against issues facing our race.
All right, but like, in Ye's defense, though, I will say that, like, the swastika is actually a Native American symbol that, like, the Germans just stole and used, or the Austrians stole and used.
It's also
like
an ancient Buddhist symbol as well. It's actually all over the world. It was used.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean, like, just because it offends a particular sect of people, like, that doesn't necessarily mean that it was meant that way or directed that way. So I will defend Ye in that regard.
But he's not, well, in the regard of White Lives Matter. But you know what's weird though? Like, is that really controversial? Dedicated to promotion of the insert race, white, black, whatever, and taking positive action as a united voice against issues facing our race. Any race can put that out there. Is that promoting violence?
No, it's not. I mean, like, if they were doing it while like being violent, then that would be separate. But I mean, you know, like
the Black Lives Matters riots that killed and burned down businesses.
well, I didn't want to just come out and say it, Bruce, but yeah, I mean, like, you know.
October 4th, after criticizing LVMH CEO Bernard Arnault at West's fashion show, the rapper baselessly claims on Instagram that Arnault killed my best friend, seemingly alluding to designer Virgil Abloh, who died of cancer last year, and later claims LVMH's elitism and racism affected Abloh's health. West is criticized by streetwear brand Supreme's creative director Tremaine Emery for using Abloh's death for his own advantage. Now, here's the thing, JR. I'm not a billionaire with these vast resources and close connections to any of these people. So how would I know whether these claims are baseless or not?
Oh, well, you wouldn't, but I mean, maybe that's the point, Bruce.
No, but how would anyone? Like, it's kind of weird how, like, everybody just throws around the word baseless. I mean, if you don't know whether it's baseless or not, it's kind of weird. I mean, maybe it's baseless, but like how how would anybody know? October 6th, after West publicly complained about his contract with Adidas to make Yeezy products, Adidas says it is putting its long-standing relationship with West under review. And in response, West writes on Instagram, FUUUUUUCK Adidas. I am Adidas. Adidas raped and stole my designs. End quote. October 6th, in an interview with Fox News' Tucker Carlson, West wears an ultrasound photo around his neck to demonstrate his pro-life views and baselessly claims there's more black babies being aborted than born in New York City at this point. 50% of black death in America is abortion, and then brings up singer Lizzo when saying being overweight is the genocide of the black race. Again, with the word baseless, I actually fact-checked this. According to the CDC and whatever, American Census and American Fact, whatever, I mean, there's quite a
Well,
few.
okay, so he might have not specified American, you know, like, I mean, like, Africans, like, live in more places than
No,
just
no,
the
no,
United
no, no.
States.
This was American statistics. He said
And, like,
there's more.
in addition to that, like, it's, I think when they use the word baseless, they could also mean either way. Like, there's no evidence either way,
No, but
so
there's
it's
a ton of
baseless.
well, there's a ton of evidence to back up his claims. I don't know about Liz. I don't know about the second part. He said being overweight is the genocide of the black race. I mean, I don't know about that. Is obesity really the leading cause? Let's look that up. Okay, so Statista.com. So 10 leading causes of death among U.S. black residents in 2018. Disease of the heart, 23.5%. Malignant neoplasms, cancers, 20.3%. Accidents, 6.2%. Stroke, 5.8%. Diabetes, 4.4%. Okay, so how many people who die of black people who die of heart disease? How many of them are obese? I mean, the stats aren't quite here. So I don't know. I'm not going to call Kanye wrong here because I don't know. Maybe he's
But it's
on.
so much funnier if you do.
Wait, what?
It's so much funnier if you do.
If I do what?
Call him wrong.
Well, I don't know if he is wrong. But like to say that it's baseless, there's clearly a lot of base here. Maybe it's still wrong, but there's clearly support. There's a base and a support there for everything he said. October 7th, West is restricted on Instagram for violating the app's policy after he posts a screenshot of a text conversation he had with Sean Diddy Combs, in which he said he was going to use Combs, quote, as an example to show the Jewish people that told you to call me that no one can threaten or influence me, end quote. What does that mean, though? Like, is that, I don't understand what that means there. Is that a threat?
Who knows, bro?
Because, I mean, is that really a threat, though? Is he calling about, I mean, he's using him as an example. Like, an example for what? Someone he insults? Someone he makes fun of? Like, this, I mean, I don't know what that is. October 9th on Twitter, West claims he's going to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people, an apparent misspelling of DEFCON, and said it was not anti-Semitic for him to say so because black people are actually Jew also. His account is promptly locked by the social media platform. You know what's weird though? I don't really want to go into this too much, but on Twitter, like they don't even lock accounts like promoting like child abuse and child exploitation and all this other crime, but they lock this guy from this crazy rant or whatever.
Yeah, you raise a good point there.
Like people actually had to sue Twitter, like underage minors who were being exploited. Twitter wouldn't even remove the post images that showed them in illegal act and exploited activity.
But I think a lot of celebrities face that, where it's like, they say something and then like, they're instantly chastised for it, and then like, it really, it's not necessarily fair because like obviously there is like direct grooming and exploitation online. So that's I guess that's just another unfortunate aspect of being a.
Here's the thing, like if you can't make sense of somebody's ramblings, how can you say that's calling for violence if it's just, I mean, it's just kind of weird. October 10th, while his accounts elsewhere are blocked, West posts a documentary to YouTube which contains footage of him displaying a porn movie to Adidas executive. This is a weird one. Okay, October 11th, Vice's Motherboard leaks footage from West's interview with Carlson that was edited out of the broadcast, including him saying the term Jew refers to the lost 12 tribes of Judah, who the people known as the race black really are. So he believes he himself is a Jew. So, like, what are you going to do with that? Can he not identify as a Jew? Is that not allowed?
Well, I guess like according to them, he can't. Like I don't know. Like now we're getting into like shit that like I have no comment on, Bruce. Because I mean, to be honest with you, like I mean, we like especially in 2022, you can say you're a part of anything now. You could say you are a type of anything now. So like, I don't really see how like it would be any different for him.
Okay, this is going to get really weird now. So, a belief that Anti-Defamation League says stems from the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. He also falsely says Planned Parenthood was founded to control the Jew population. In parentheses here, Planned Parenthood founder Margaret Sanger did believe in eugenics and the racist and ableist idea of selective breeding, which the organization now denounces. So how is it a false claim then if they're admitting it in the parentheses?
I mean, it's kind of like almost sounds like the Teamsters Union. Like there was a time when they were like clearly mob, but like now they're just kind of like back off to the FBI.
But West was talking about the founding, not the current institution.
Well, I mean, again, like, it's also, like, people half listen to everything, Bruce. I mean, that's why, like, when people ask, me about politics, like, I tell them to watch, like, full-length things. Like, don't just watch canned media. It's the reason why MindShock exists, Bruce. We go down every rabbit hole.
Yeah. October 12th,
I still think he's an asshole, though.
October 12th, talk show The Shop says it would not air an interview with West because he used the platform to reiterate more hate speech and extremely dangerous stereotypes. October 15th, in a since deleted episode of Drink Champs, West falsely claims that George Floyd died because of fentanyl and not because former officer Derek Chauvin knelt on his neck for 9 minutes. Floyd's family subsequently says it plans to sue West for the remarks. So here's the problem with all of this. First of all, I did not perform the autopsy, so who knows what he really died of? I'm not making any claims on anything. I don't support or not support anything. Because even, like, again, you would have to know what the report actually says. And what are the contributing factors? Would he have died of fentanyl if he wasn't knelt on by an officer? Would he have died 20 minutes or an hour later instead of earlier? I mean, I don't know any of these things, so I'm not going to pretend and make any claims. However, for defamation against the public figure, you would have to prove that Kanye doesn't actually believe what he said. And people with health issues, mental health issues like Kanye and Alex Jones, how are you going to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that they're not mentally insane and that they don't actually believe what they said?
I mean, okay, so...
Because in order for something to be defamation, they have to be knowingly lying and doing it with malice, and there has to be actual damages. For example, if the parents of the Sandy Hook kids, the alleged parents of the alleged victims in the alleged incident, again, I'm not claiming anything is true or untrue, if they have trouble getting employment because of Alex Jones's words, I mean that's a major point in winning that case, because if Alex Jones is causing them to not be employable, I mean, it's kind of the opposite. People are donating crazy amounts of money to them. So that's clearly not the case there. Same thing with George Floyd's family. Are they not being able to be employed because of what Kanye said? Or are people sending them insane amounts of donations? So is there damage? Are there actual damages?
Well, I mean, like, all I have to say about that, Bruce, is I'm reminded of the Ian Fleming line in Tomorrow Never Dies, where Elliot Carver says to Bond, the measure of genius and insanity is measured only by success. I believe that applies in this particular situation, because if Kanye didn't have billions of dollars, he'd be, locked up in some, center somewhere, being pumped full of, antipsychotics. But because he's who he is, he gets away with this, being able to say this, that, and the other thing. And some people look at it like he's completely insane, and then other people look at it like, he's actually making a lot of sense. But either way, if he wasn't successful, it would have automatically defaulted to he's a nut. Which I still think he's an asshole, and I still think he's a f***ing nut, but that's just my opinion.
Okay. October 17th, conservative social media platform Polar announces that West is buying it, and West says, quote, in a world where conservative opinions are considered to be controversial, we have to make sure we have the right to freely express ourselves, end quote. October 17th, also in an interview with Chris Cuomo, West talks about the Jewish underground media mafia and says his DEFCON 3 remarks referred to when black musicians signed to Jewish record labels and those Jewish record labels take ownership, a form of modern-day slavery. The Anti-Defamation League says his remarks use age-old anti-Semitic myths about Jewish greed and power and control of the entertainment industry. I mean, it's kind of weird though, it's kind of weird. Like, can't you put all greedy, corrupt, rich people under the same umbrella? Like, why differentiate?
I mean, see, again, I'm not in the entertainment sector, so, I have no opinion of that, Bruce. I mean, I can't, I've seen all walks of life be producer. I mean, from, white people to black people to, Jewish people. I mean, it's by example, there's Michael Douglas, there's, Steven Spielberg, who's obviously Jewish, there's isn't Martin Lawrence or something, or Denzel Washington, he's a producer, Matthew McConaughey is a producer. So I mean, there's all kinds of Jodie Foster's a producer, there's all different walks of life there. So I don't necessarily know if I believe that 100%, but again, I'm not in the nexus of that industry, so I couldn't really tell you.
You're not in the nexus.
Yeah, I'm not in the nexus, bro.
Okay, so let's continue on here.
I think Kanye's definitely, whatever he's smoking, brings him into the nexus.
October 19th, on Piers Morgan Uncensored.
Whoa. Wait, think about it, Bruce. Nexus West. I think that should be his next kid's name.
On Piers Morgan Uncensored, after saying he did not regret his anti-Semitic remarks, West apologizes to the people I hurt, quote, the people that I hurt with the DEFCON comment, and to the families of the people that had nothing to do with the trauma that I have been through, end quote. All right, and we're going to show an interesting example here. Also, October 19th, this is Forbes magazine. West tells Piers Morgan that President Joe Biden is expletive retarded, but they actually have asterisks in retarded as well, as if that's an expletive, for not taking advice from Elon Musk, and said he can use the term because he has mental health issues.
See, I don't really agree with that. I think that, let me just put it to you this way. Let's look at African Americans using the N-word. It's denigrating to their own people. So if he is retarded, it's denigrating to other retards.
Yeah, but retarded just means slow. It's not like what I don't understand the outrage over that word. That's like, is there? I mean, I guess.
Well, I don't really understand the outrage. I mean, honestly, when I was in school, like our teachers used to ask us, like, "Are you retarded?" So like it was, like I don't really know like how that's like negative, but
In this day and age
uh,
too, it's kind of like the word "fat" is like turned into an expletive too, like calling people fat. You know, it's
I
like,
think what this is it's what like we've turned into, or not me and you, but like what a lot of the media has turned into now is the context police. Like you have to say things in a certain context, otherwise.
but what's the difference between asking somebody if they're retarded and asking somebody if they're stupid? Or in like this time next year, are we going to be talking about the word "stupid" being used as an expletive and not being allowed?
Well, I mean, like I see if we're gonna say, are you retarded? I think like the same thing should be used for someone that's asking someone that may be suicidal. Are you safe? Like what? Like I at this point again, it's the context police.
Yeah, these are dark times. I mean, I don't know. Do you think George Orwell would have been very upset that, like, his book had turned into reality?
Probably. I think like the world needs to go back to like some sort of reprieve. I think that everyone's been through a very stressful period of time. I think everyone just needs to chill the out personally. But that's just my opinion.
JR, life coach. I mean, that's some great advice there, JR.
Well, seriously, Bruce. I mean, honestly, like, everyone in their own way, regardless of economic status or otherwise, has gone through an extremely traumatic event over the past 2 years. And it's been worldwide. Normally, you wouldn't be able to say that. There would be other political factors, economic factors, all kinds of other factors. Like, oh, we're first world. Oh, we're third world. Oh, we believe in, like, having a monarch. Oh, we believe in democracy. Normally, like, these things would all come into interplay. But, like, the fact is that in the past 2 years, hundreds of thousands of people have died, and everyone is stressed out about it. And they just need to back the off and chill the out. That's pretty much it.
Let's get to the point that all the mind shockers are really here for. Is there any damning evidence that Kanye West is, in fact, a member of the Illuminati? So let's go to complex.com for this article by Jordan Zerm. 9 rappers accused of being in the Illuminati. So regarding Kanye, much of the lore surrounding Kanye West's connection to the Illuminati stems from the video for his song Power, released in 2010. From the very first shot of the video, which features a close-up of West's face, his eyes,
That's a really original title.
yeah, his eyes aglow and backed by a series of columns, Illuminati conspirators came out in full force. His eyes are illuminated, they said, and those columns represent a Masonic temple. And it went on from West's Horus chain, which to Illuminati conspirators symbolizes royal protection and immense power, to the devil horns atop the heads of the women in the video. Ye then famously addressed. Is it well? If in the Bible the word is ye, all ye faith, so it would be ye instead of yea. But
I don't fucking care, Bruce, and neither should you.
But it's not pronounced Kanye, it's pronounced Kanye. Okay, then famously addressed the loudening Illuminati rumors on a guest verse for T.I.'s Welcome to the World. This is the verse here. People ask me expletive about the Illuminati. First off, expletive that mean? Question mark. He loved Jesus when he was worse off. Oh, I see. When they think an expletive is stupid rich, people just start coming up with stupid expletive. Kanye's rebuke didn't exactly calm the storm. In 2015, when Kanye joined Jay-Z, Rihanna, Madonna, and Nicki Minaj, is that your favorite artist? On stage during a press conference to introduce Tidal, Twitter users shouted that this was actually a public meeting of the Illuminati. The rumors got so loud, Ye felt the need to write a letter in Paper Magazine stating explicitly that not only was he not in the Illuminati, but that the organization doesn't even exist in the first place. Sounds like something someone in the Illuminati would say, to be honest. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like, yeah, I'd absolutely say. I mean, everyone that denies the existence of the Illuminati is probably in the Illuminati.
Yeah, I mean, see, this almost makes it the smarter move not to address the rumors in the first place, because if you're not in the Illuminati and you don't want to appear like you are, like saying nothing would be the better bet, but writing official letters stating that you're not in the Illuminati and the Illuminati doesn't actually exist, like that's kind of suspect, JR. That's kind of suspect.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, either that or, like, it's just, it goes back to the fact that he says he's, like, special needs or something, like, maybe he is, like, he doesn't seem to have much of a censor, Bruce, I'm gonna be honest.
Well, also, a lot of the claims about the Illuminati, MK Ultra, Operation Mockingbird, the CIA's infiltration of Hollywood, like, if this all causes split personalities, different personalities would not be aware of the other personalities that know about the Illuminati. So that particular personality might be saying the truth when they don't think the Illuminati is real or that they're in it, because they're not aware of the other personality. So that, like that's kind of a basic concept that coincidence theorists for some reason can't understand.
Right, okay.
Okay, all right. Well, hope you guys enjoyed another edition of the MindShock podcast regarding Kanye West, his latest comments, possible Illuminati connections, and we'll have to stay on top of the Kanye West news because I can't think of.
Well, Bruce, from the time we started this podcast to the end, he's already made other comments.
We probably need to do a whole series on Kanye. I mean, this is just the important things going on in the world today. So if you want to help support MindShock, help us get more mind-shocking content out there covering any and all topics, you can donate to our PayPal. Just check the link in the description. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell for notifications. You can also become a YouTube member right here on YouTube for access to exclusive streams and chats. Like and share Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Patreon. Questions, comments, theories, thoughts, suggestions, rebuttals, debunkings of any kind, leave them in the comment section. This is Bruce McGuire signing off.
And JR tapping out.
Catch you guys next time.